And we back. Now today we're going on to power forwards. Y'all know what's going on, the tier ranking videos. You guys have absolutely loved or hated the first 3 episodes, depending on who you're a fan of, because no matter what, I can't make everybody happy. But we're hitting up the power forwards. I told y'all if we hit 14,000 likes on the last episode, then I dropped the power forward. So we got 13,800 likes, but also like 400 dislikes. And if you do the math, that means 14,000 people rated it. Dislike or like. So here we are with the power forward rankings. So we have the normal tier rankings. We have S tier, which means he's a superstar, the best of the best. We have A tier, which means that he's an all-star caliber player. B tier usually means that maybe he's not an all-star caliber, but he's pretty good. C tier is like, he's good, but he's not gonna sway you bad or good. D tier, like, you know, below average. And then F tier is what you think it is. It's the F tier, all right? So we're going to start left to right. When we got Anthony Davis, how can you argue anything other than S tier? The reason why so many teams would love to have Anthony Davis right now, even though they're not sure if he'll resign with them, is because he's an S tier player. He can be a game changer. We saw just 2 years ago, he led his team to the playoffs and then won in the first round. And a couple years before that, he led his team to the playoffs to go against the Warriors. And no, they didn't win a game against the Warriors, but he had a phenomenal series. He is an S tier, and I can't wait till he's actually back playing other than just playing like 20 minutes a game. I need to see prime Anthony Davis minutes. Then we have Aaron Gordon, who personally, I think him as a B tier. But I will revise everything at the end, and maybe he drops down to C. But right now, we're going to have him at B tier. Then we have LaMarcus Aldridge. He is an A tier power forward. He's been that way for a few years. Last year he went into Pop's office. He's like, man, I want to get traded. This San Antonio experiment ain't going the way I wanted it to go. And then Pop was like, don't worry, I got you. And then he had a career year after that because Pop actually incorporated him into the offense. When LaMarcus Aldridge is incorporated into the offense, he's very, very good. So he's an A tier power forward. Then we have Al-Farouq Aminu, who's a great defender and occasionally knocks down the 3. I think that makes him a C tier. Blake Griffin is 100% A tier. He had the best year of his career this year, and it was just unfortunate due to circumstances that they only made the 8th seed. But the second half of the season, they were very good. He was hurt in the first round, so they got destroyed. Bielitsa is probably a D tier. He had the beginning of the season where he started off pretty decent, and then eventually he started to lose his role because they wanted to incorporate Marvin Bagley a little bit more. Then Harrison Barnes came and took some power forward minutes. But Bielitsa, knockdown shooter. Bobby Portis, I think of him as a C tier, maybe even a D tier. We'll put him at C tier for now, and then we'll do our revising. He is, sometimes he's good, and sometimes he's not good. Doesn't play much defense, but when Bobby Portis is on and he's filling it, he can fill it up. So that's why I'm having him at C tier. Dario, I think that the world's last impressions of Dario wasn't that great because once he was traded to Minnesota, they struggled to incorporate him into the offense. Then we got to the point where he was playing like 10 minutes a game. But personally, I do believe that Dario Saric is a pretty good basketball player. So a lot of people may have him D tier. I'm putting him in at C tier. Derek Favors, same situation. He is a C tier player. He protects the rim pretty well when he is at center. But obviously, he starts at power forward alongside Rudy Gobert. Giannis is an S tier. On the small forward videos, one of the top comments that I saw all the time was, why is Giannis not here? Do y'all not realize that Giannis is a power forward? Think about their star lineup in the regular season. It was Malcolm Brogdon. No. It's Eric Bledsoe at the 1, Malcolm Brogdon at the 2, Chris Middleton at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Brook Lopez at the 5. That was their starting 5 as long as they were healthy, which means that he played a bulk of his minutes at power forward, which makes him a power forward. Now, I understand in the playoffs they're starting Nico Mirotic, which slides Giannis to the small forward, but when they're 100% healthy and they were playing in the regular season, Malcolm Brogdon started, so Giannis is a power forward. But nonetheless, he is an S tier. He is this league's MVP this year. I know last night, he had a terrible game offensively, but I'm sure he's going to bounce back because he's been incredible this entire playoffs. It's like his worst game, and they barely lost. They barely lost when Giannis having his worst game of the playoffs. Then we have Draymond Green, who is an A tier power forward. I need you to listen closely here. If you think Draymond Green is not an A-tier power forward, you do not watch Draymond Green play basketball. It is simple as that. This whole playoff run, he has been incredible. Offensively, he's been making shots and at the right place at the right time to finish at the rim. He has been playmaking like a god. And defensively, there's not many people in the league that even close to him. When he says that he believes he's the best defender of all time, he believes that for real. And honestly, he's up there. He may be top 5, top 10 best defenders of all time. People that think that Draymond Green is not valuable or not a good basketball player is not watching Draymond Green play. They're looking at the box score and say, he had 12.6 assists and 6 rebounds. That's cool, but those go so far. The last game against Portland, he was the best player on the court. Simple. So he is an A tier, and he's been that way. He has been that way. He said that there are 2 different types of NBA players. There's an 82-game player, and there's a 16-game player. Players that show up in the playoffs in those 16 games, those 16 wins you need for a championship. Draymond Green is that. He was chilling in the regular season. You know why? Because he ain't need to do nothing. Playoffs came around, snapped his fingers. He stopped talking to the refs on good and bad calls, and he's just hooping. So if you do not believe Draymond Green deserves A tier, you're not watching Draymond Green play. You watching box scores. John Collins had a very good sophomore season. He is a B tier. Again, this is not a projection video, but just based on what he's done in his career so far. And honestly, I think he is a B tier. He had a very good sophomore season. I think in Atlanta, they're about to do something very, very nice in the next couple seasons with him and Trae Young. Jared Dudley does all the right things to get under people's skin. We saw it in the playoffs and everything. But other than that, J Dub's one of my guys too. I like him as a person. When he's on TV and he's talking and stuff, I like to listen to him. But right now, his old age as an NBA player, I'm putting him there, okay? Jeremy Grant is C tier. He had the best career shooting. This is his best year shooting the ball, which is a good thing for OKC, but obviously it wasn't enough for them to get over the hump. But I think he's going to have a pretty good next year as well. But right now, he is a C tier. JaMychal Green is interesting because JaMychal Green had a so-so season, but the playoffs came around, and the reason that the Clippers won 2 games is because they were running a small ball lineup, and JaMychal Green was giving the Warriors some buckets. Offensively and defensively, he's playing great. But at the end of the day, I do think he's a C tier. Many people may have him D tier. I'm looking at him as C tier. Jaren Jackson Jr., same situation. He had a very good rookie season, but not good enough to get in this upper echelon of players. James Johnson is more of a D tier player. He's their enforcer in Miami. You do not want to fight James Johnson. But as far as hooping goes, this year he was pretty bad. But overall resume, he's there. Shout out to my former Bull. Next, we have Kyle Kuzma, who is a B tier player. He is the perfect fit. I literally think that Kyle Kuzma can go on any team and get his buckets. That's just how he works. He doesn't necessarily need the ball to score. He just finds a way to do it. I like Kyle Kuzma's game a lot. The only thing is that defensively, he just ain't got that. Maybe he never will, but the offensive thing, he got that. Then we have Kevin Love, who has been B tier. I mean, he was the fall guy with the Cavs for many years, just like Chris Bosh was for the Miami Heat, but he's still a very good player. He only played like 22 games this season, and I do believe he's got that contract too, but I do believe he is a B tier player. Luke Cornett, do I need to say more? Do I need to say more? I don't think I do. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Lauri Markkanen. In my eyes, Lauri Markkanen is on the same path. He's on the same tier as Aaron Gordon, as John Collins, as Kyle Kuzma. All rookie first team last year, and this year he followed up with an even better season. And because of that, I think he's better. I like the way I'm doing this. Is Lauri Markkanen better than everybody beneath him? Yeah, he is. So in that case, he is a B tier. Then we have Bridges. We have Miles Bridges, who I'm going to put in the D tier. Decent rookie season, but nothing super impressive. Again, not a prediction video. He could be something special in the future, but as of right now, he is a D tier. Marcus Morris started off this season amazing. He was one of the best players on the Celtics, and then the following months, he shot like 25% from 3. He basically fell off. He gives you that grit, so I'm going to put him C tier. I'm going to put him C tier. And I'm also going to put PJ Tucker C tier. He's Houston's best defender. He's gritty. He's like 6'4", but he plays power forward. He gets his offensive boards and he knocks down his corner shots. He is a C tier. Then we have Paul Millsap. If you follow my streams, twitch.tv/KOT4Q, you know we call him P. Millies. All right? He is B tier. He is not on the tier of these three guys, but he's like the top of the line B tier. Then we have Porzingis. I believe Porzingis is A tier based on what he's done so far, but obviously when it comes back from this injury, we don't know which side of Porzingis we're going to get. But based on what he's been, he is an A tier. Then we have Pascal Siakam, who had a very good season, most improved player winner, I believe. But at the end of the day, I do think he's a higher echelon B player, which means like he's like B+, but he's not on the level of these guys up here, which means that he's at the top of the line at the B. Tobias Harris, same situation, had a great year, could have been an all-star if he was in the East, but he was in the West for the first half of the season. He is a B tier power forward as well. I would have loved to see him play a little bit better in the playoffs, but he was behind basically Joel, he was behind Ben, he was behind Jimmy. So he just had to take his shots when they came. And then he had that one game, he was like 6 for 23 or something like that. So he got his shots, they just weren't falling. Then we have TJ Warren. TJ Warren came in and he shot the 3 this year. And I give him big props for that. C tier. And then lastly, we have Tobias Harris, who I also think is about C tier. He's another one of those guys that does all the little things. He's pretty much average at everything. So this is my tier list as of right now. I'm going to do quick revising. I'll be right back. But I think this is my tier ranking video, man. I don't know if there's many controversial things in this episode. Maybe the Draymond Green thing is controversial to some people, but for me, it's not. Yeah, I like my tiers. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Y'all always do, and I appreciate that. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave it a like. Whether or not you agree or disagree. If you got to this part of the video, you had to like something, right? I'm out. Peace.